Kryz here. Do you ever get that feeling of pure joy when you gather around the table with your loved ones, sharing stories, laughter, and of course, delicious food? Well, let me tell you, there's nothing quite like creating those special moments with a feast from 24 Chicken. Their juicy, flavorful chicken is perfect for bringing everyone together. Imagine crispy fried chicken bursting with flavor, or maybe you're craving their signature Jack Daniels, tender and sweet with every bite. 24 Chicken has something for everyone at the table. Gather your loved ones, order some 24 Chicken, and prepare to make some amazing memories. Use the promo code SkyFam24Chicken and check out on their website at www.24chickendelivery.com and get a special discount on your next order. Welcome to Sky Podcast. Watch out for a new episode every Saturday.
How has this pregnancy been, love?
Changes you. I thought it was gonna be a walk in the park, honestly, but alas, no, it wasn't as easy as I thought. I think what you expect is rarely what the reality becomes.
Sa girl side, it's so ang hirap, and on the guy side, parang emotional support lang kami.
Now, the support that you're giving me is, I don't think I can survive without that support. Like, it's a lot of support.
If I want to be a better father, I need to level up myself as well.
Yeah. How are y'all doing? My morning was quite an emotional roller coaster.
Okay, sige, kwento.
So, first of all, I did not expect...
How many weeks are you though?
Yun na nga, I did not expect to still be pregnant at the time of recording. But yes, I'm still very much pregnant and not giving birth anytime soon.
Anytime soon?
37 weeks na ako. I thought I would be out and about. Baby would be out and about by now.
Wala ko next week.
Yun, sabi ni doctor na, baka he's gonna follow Scotty 38 weeks. Kasi feeling niya not anytime this week daw talaga. So it was a typical doctor's appointment. Hobbs took me to the hospital. My sister accompanied me. And then Hobbs went to work. Like normal talaga. And then suddenly, kinakwento ko kay Doc, I didn't expect that I'd be here anymore. Kasi akala ko, nasa hospital na ako ngayon. And, I really feel that I'm gonna give birth. Baby doesn't move as much anymore. And she was like, wait, what? Baby doesn't move as much anymore? What are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, like, I feel like maybe he's so big now. There's no space to move. So now I'm sleeping better than before. And she's like, what? You're not being awoken? You're not being woken up anymore by his kicks? So she tried to do an ultrasound and like poke and prod him while she was checking my stomach, and everything seemed fine except that baby wouldn't move no matter how much we jiggled my belly. So it's either ang sarap-sarap ng tulog niya or something's wrong, right? And she just didn't want to take the chance. She just wanted peace of mind. So she sent me to the hospital to get more tests done. And that was the start of the emotional roller coaster.
Oh, and then yung text niya sa akin, nasa meeting ako, a very important meeting, someone flew in from abroad to meet with me. Nag-text siya sa akin, yung baby hindi gumagalaw.
I didn't. I said
to that.
I didn't. I said, I forgot what I said.
Yeah, to that line.
Do you have to go to the
hindi
hospital?
Siya gumagalaw.
Yeah.
We have to go to the hospital. Diretso kami na sa hospital kasi hindi masyadong gumagalaw yung baby. Yung parang, imagine nasa meeting ako, I really had to leave. Like, tinawagan ko siya, oh no, it's actually not.
Yeah, so I just sent him a short text because like I was asking my sister, can he take me because Slater's in a meeting? And then I was talking to the doctor. Like, you can't really text when you're like, it's really hard to text and compose your thoughts when you're going through all of that. Like, I didn't know if I should be calm in the situation or I should panic. Basta syempre, for our kid.
Yeah, I mean,
you think of the worst right away.
Oh, and syempre, like parang, even if the doctor says, oh, it's just for peace of mind, parang ikaw as a parent, you have all these other, ano ba kaya, bakit kailangan ng test? Usually, wala naman test.
Yeah, like, why is she so insistent on letting me get this test if it's just for peace of mind? Like, all of these questions running
Baka
in my
nga
head.
talaga for peace of mind. And I think it was.
For sure, yeah.
Oh.
So, I make my way to the hospital, and long story short, it turns out everything is A-okay. A lot of things pa happen in the hospital na parang nakakapraning talaga as a praning mom. But now, calm na tayo. We're home, we're safe, baby's good.
Perfect na lahat, okay na lahat. Pero, yeah, how has this pregnancy been, love? How like, I want to talk to you about how this has been, considering this is our third.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask me also if we're thinking of getting a fourth, and a lot of people don't believe us when we say we won't. And ano yung mga changes and ano yung mga expectations mo moving forward? Ang dami questions.
First of all, it's funny because when Slater and I were dating, the question was always, when are you guys getting married? And then when you get married, the question's always, when are you guys having a kid? And then you have a kid, when are you having the next one? And then it's just funny. Like, I don't blame anyone. I know that's part of culture and society. And I don't take offense at all when they ask. But it's just funny na hanggang ngayon, tatlo na yung anak namin, tinatanong pa rin kami.
Ano yung next?
May next pa? I'm like,
Siyempre, kailangan nyo ng babae.
yeah,
Ano
like,
yung
seriously,
next?
guys, this third one is still in my belly. Hasn't even come out yet. Like, give me a break.
Oo, kasi nagmamadali kasi tayo.
It's our own fault.
To be honest, hindi talaga kami nagplan. Like, a lot of people say, even online, na parang, nagmamadali, or ano. Pero, and parang nakaschedule siya. Every 2 years, meron. At a certain
the
time
same
pa.
month, yeah.
More or less the same
Like,
month
we have
sila
a mating
lahat.
season.
So, parang, but for us, like, wala. It wasn't planned at all. Even si Scotty, we were just thinking of like, if it comes, it comes. Parang ganyan.
Yeah. So in short, if you guys don't want to be like us, family planning is the key. But you know, there are a lot of expectations going into each pregnancy, especially the first one, because it's the first one. You don't really know what to expect. You read so many things. You ask people about their opinions and all of these things. For this third one, I thought it was gonna be a walk in the park, honestly, because I'm like, buddy, alam nga naman, you don't know pa what you're gonna go through. You should be an expert by now, third time na. But alas, no, it wasn't as easy as I thought. In fact, I feel like this might be the hardest one for me. Not emotionally. I think Scotty's was the most emotional one for me. But physically, like the suka is still here. 9 months later, I'm still complaining to Slater about my bodily aches and pains.
Every day and every night.
Every day. And, handling 2 very active boys with another boy in my stomach at 9 months pregnant is really difficult also. So I think what you expect is rarely what the reality becomes.
Yeah, and I think you made a good point na sa girl side, it's so ang hirap, and on the guy side, parang emotional support lang kami. Nandito lang kami. Pero on the guy side, there's really not much changing. But for this pregnancy, nakikita ko talaga na psychologically, you're a lot more okay. You can handle it.
I'm not crazy anymore.
No, because dati, even me psychologically, I'm more like, we've done it before. But dati was like, ano kailangan mo? Like to the level of, anong gusto mo? Like what can I do? What more? Like
Talaga? You were like that before?
I think so, more so than now. Now parang alam ko kaya na to ni Kryz. Na it's not na hindi pinabayaan kita, but it's more of like I know you can handle it.
It's funny that you say that because I actually feel like you're more present now than you were.
Hindi naman.
No, I really do. I feel like with the first, maybe it was just like my hormones being so crazy, which I admit I was batshit crazy when I was pregnant.
Hindi naman bad.
It
But
was
meron
just
siya
very
mga emotional.
like very emotional. Like I was very sad all of the time. Like I felt so lonely all of the time. Even if you were there, I was lonely. Like all of these things.
Maybe that's why you feel you're more alone. Kasi,
Maybe.
and from my end, like, I was always there because that time, walang trabaho.
It was lockdown.
Lockdown. Imposible talaga na wala ako dun.
I remember I wrote a diary, I had a journal, and I was just like, I'm just so lonely. Even though Slater's here in the house, I feel alone still. Like no one can relate to me. No one understands what I'm going through. But it was just so heavy at that time. With Sevi, it was a lot more chill because my focus wasn't really on the pregnancy. It was more of, I have to manage my toddler while being pregnant. How do I survive this? And now with the third one, my focus is like, what? Physically, why is this so difficult? I just need to get from one end of the room to the other. Why am I struggling? And the reason why I say that you're more present now, love, is because honestly, like I really see that you, even if you're so beat at the end of the day from work, you really make the time and the effort to take the kids away from me because nakikita mo hindi ko na talaga kaya.
Oh yeah, in that sense siguro. Dati wala naman akong magawa. Nandito lang ako, chill, walang ginagawa sa bahay. Ganyan.
Yeah, but you say that guy is just there for emotional support. I feel like that's a lot. Like now, the support that you're giving me is, I don't think I can survive without that support. Like it's a lot of support. Because at the time that you take the kids away from me, Like, I feel like I can rest. You know what I mean?
Oo,
It's-
nakikita ko. Na parang, okay, kids, swimming tayo. And so we're
Don't
all in the
talk to
swimming pool.
me. I'm gonna go to my room and sit down and close my eyes.
Oo, bigla siyang mawawala. Nasa closet siya. And like, nagpa-aircon sa closet niya.
Yeah, like literally sitting down and closing, not doing anything. And it's very therapeutic.
Would you say that that is one of the reasons why yung vlog mo, you told me about this, but I don't know when, used to be twice a week ka na post.
Yeah.
Ngayon, isa na lang.
Yeah.
Is that part of the pregnancy or...
I don't actually remember when I started doing the once a week posts, but it's just because, life gets in the way. I think I don't really remember when I started the twice a week post, but I for sure was not pregnant or I didn't have kids. So I had all the time in the world to focus on my career. Once you become a mom, your focus really shifts. I mean, you have to prioritize your family somehow. And I tried to manage and juggle for the first 2 babies. Then I realized this isn't healthy anymore. Like, I could do it, but it was too much for me. So internally, I was struggling already. Like, hindi ko na kaya talaga. Like, wala na akong oras for myself. You remember I kept complaining to you about that?
Like what?
I feel like I'm losing myself. It's either all my time is for the kids or all my time is for work. Like, there's nothing for me. And I think that was like the tipping point when I decided, you know what? No one's telling me to post twice a week. Like, no one's forcing me. Like, so then when I took a step back and reprioritized, then I felt healthier mentally. Like, there was more balance in my life.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like my learning also in these past maybe couple of years. You always bring me back down to earth. Back down to earth. Sometimes I get a little bit too busy and daming trabaho and there's all these opportunities that I can do. And I was recently asked, like, how do you manage all of that? What I've realized is it's just about saying no. Sobrang, zealous with my time.
Yeah.
Like, when there's even business opportunities, good opportunities, hindi na siya, okay, go. Let's see if I can squeeze this in or not. Or parang, what else will I be giving up because of this opportunity? I feel like there's a cost to every opportunity that you chase now.
It's funny because when we were younger, we had all of this energy and this drive, and it kind of felt like a sin to say no to an opportunity. You just kind of have to grab everything that nakaya mo.
Yes.
Diba? Parang, you're so ungrateful naman na hindi mo to tatanggapin.
Oh.
But I feel like with life, as you age and as you become more financially stable and as you become, you reprioritize your life, you become a parent and all these things, parang you learn na, it's okay pala to slow down.
Yes.
It's okay pala to say no to this opportunity, not because you're lazy or you're negligent or whatever, but because there's something else that you need to place your time in.
Yes. And I feel like parenthood is something that we can tell you everything about parenthood and ang hirap makapag-relate. It's
In
like,
that level.
And on that level,
Yeah.
like I had a friend who recently became a father. Sinabi talaga niya, suddenly all the parenting memes make sense.
Yeah. Like, I've read so many, like, your life changes when you have a kid, but you don't really know the depth of that sentence until you become a parent yourself.
Oo.
Yeah.
So when we say, okay, hindi ka na as nag-chase ng mga opportunities, the ones that are not a parent, typically, sometimes, look at us as, I don't get it. Like, okay, like parang, I understand you need time for your kids, but sayang naman yung opportunity.
Yeah.
Parang ganyan.
Yeah.
You have to explain. Especially, I think, when we were single also, parang we judged other people.
Yes, I was just gonna get to that.
Na parang, wala silang time, nawawala na yung buhay nila, yung ganyan. Yung, this is not the person that I knew. Like, may mga ganyan tayo.
I remember we were just starting to date pa lang, and it was our party phase. So we were out all the time nung weekends. I remember I was getting ready to go out to a late night party, whatever, and my sister and my brother-in-law were in my room, and I was getting ready. And they're like, what time are you leaving? I'm like, I don't know, 11? And they're like, that's my bedtime.
Tulog na kami noon.
Yeah, where are you going? I'm like, I'm just going to go to this bar and meet my friends. We're going to go to the club later. And they're like, that sounds so tiring. What are you going to drink? I'm like, I don't know, tequila. And they're like, tequila, that's a poison. And I just couldn't imagine myself being in their position. And I kept thinking to myself, man, these old people are so boring. They don't know what they're missing out. It's so fun in the club. It's so fun in the bar. Like, Di ba, like, haven't they tried this before? Hindi ba, parang ganun, hindi ko magets.
And meron ka pang mga sinasabi sa sarili mo na, when I become a parent, I'll be a cool parent. Lalabas pa rin ako.
And we were talking about that.
Yeah. And sinabi mo pa, anak natin dapat dapat aesthetic, dapat neutrals, dapat ganito yung
like
bedroom nila, malinis talaga palagi, nakaligpit lahat ng mga toys.
This is what we mean when it's theoretical versus experience-based reality, right?
Yeah.
Like, you read about it all the time, you hear people say it all the time, and you think to yourself, okay, when this happens to me, this is how I'm going to react to it. But when you're in that situation yourself, it's completely different. And all of a sudden, like overnight, when I gave birth to Scotty, I'm like, I can relate to my sister and my brother-in-law so much. Like, even if Slater now forces me, and even if I have the energy, I'm like, oh no, I'd rather stay in my bed and not go out.
Yeah, even from the house perspective, the engineer architecture perspective, I remember I had a talk with our architects, sila LLG architects, who designed our house. Sabi niya, alam mo, sobrang clean yun. Like ngayon, like I wanted all the wires hidden. Wala makikitang wires, walang mga kalat, walang ano. But sabi niya, just appreciate it for what it is when it's new. But remember na bigla na lang may mga laruan na ipa-plug dyan, may mga ano, this comfort things will have to happen. The house will not look architectural forever.
It's not gonna be a catalog forever. It's gonna be a home with kids' toys in your bathroom.
Pero sakto naman yung sinabi ko sa kanya. I think, ang sagot ko kasi sa kanya is, it's like you have a new phone. You buy your new phone, wala pa siyang casing. Appreciate mo muna na walang casing. And then, it's a little bit uglier, pero lagyan mo ng casing para practical na siya. So, at least na-appreciate mo yung first few moments na sleek pa siya, scratch-free, and all these things. And then, you add on these things.
How about for you, love? I want to ask you, like, what are the things that you expected you would become or you would experience as a father that are so different from what you're experiencing now?
Sa akin, what really changed me was si Scott. Scott, syempre, being the first. Parang, at that time, even during the pandemic, meron akong trabaho, but I wasn't that busy. Even before the pandemic. Yung negosyo was just, okay, negosyo ako na para kumita, ganyan, but I wasn't really ambitious. And hindi rin siya, wala rin siyang deeper purpose to what I was doing. It was like, okay, it's to make ends meet. Ngayon, parang sinabi ko sa sarili ko, if I want to be a better father, I need to level up myself as well.
Yeah.
Yung tipong, I have to learn more about the world, the reality of what the world is, sa trabaho, sa ano. Just by feeling ko lang kasi, it's kind of like, ako yung ceiling. Na the better I become, the higher the ceiling is for my kids. The better I become at dealing with people, the better skills I can teach them. The better engineer that I become, if they want to be an engineer, matuturuan ko sila. Or it's just the matter of learning the skills to gain the skills. So parang it gave me more purpose than just the monetary purpose. It's more of like mas malalim yung the reason why you do the things that you do. So okay, I want to make a difference because I want my kids to be able to see me as an example. It sounds so cheesy, but it's true.
Yeah.
That's where all the other nag-housing ako ulit before, nag-housing na ako and then I stopped and then nag-housing ulit, developments and all these other engagements na ginagawa natin. And I feel like it's a practice of just being a better version of yourself. Ikaw, love, how has motherhood changed you? And did it change from Scotty to Sevi to Little Cute?
Yeah.
Mayroon ba mga changes?
A lot. I'm a completely different person. You know it. Everyone knows it. Everyone sees it. Even my doctor said, you've changed. Like,
in what way? In what way can
she
you
says
remember?
Okay. Well, I never really thought of myself as vain or self-centered before. I was just doing what everybody else was doing. Like, it was just like a thing, like normal. But then when you have a kid and your priorities shift and you realize like this kid is reliant on me solely. Like when I was breastfeeding Scott, I was like, if I just suddenly drop dead right now, wala siyang milk. he won't survive. You know what I mean? Like, I need to be here. I need to be 100% so I can give my kid 100%.
Yeah.
It's not about me anymore.
And I also feel like, nakikita mo yung mga bata ngayon, grabe sila, no? And then,
Yeah.
they would dress up like this, ay, nag-makeup na, and then, oy, parang nagsiskirt na. Si Kryz would be commenting, and I was like, ikaw yun dati.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, you know, when I say, I can't imagine if you have a kid and then the kid will do this. And then I realize, wait, I did this at a younger age pa. Parang, wait a minute, how come before it was so okay for me, all of these things were so okay for me, and suddenly, now that I have a kid, I'm responsible for another human being, I look at the same thing, but very differently. That changed for me a lot. The way I look at myself changed. The way I respect my body now and myself now completely changed. Before, I feel like I didn't realize it at the time, but there was such a need for external validation. And when I gave birth, I just felt like I can do anything. Like, I am a strong, independent woman. I can sustain, like, my body just went through all of this, and then I can still sustain another baby. Parang something else clicks in your brain, and you just become a superhero or something to yourself. No, and then I just realized, like, okay, there's so much I'm capable of, and there's so much things that I shortchanged myself on before. I feel that way.
Does that help you do you use that for other things in life? Like, me personally, I can't imagine the emotions someone has to go through as a guy. Like, parang, when I see you, like, you're carrying a live person in your stomach.
Kinda
And
creepy.
yung level of fragility and vulnerability that must feel like would be so, you feel so vulnerable, I would imagine.
Yep.
And like, not only that, all these hormones and the pressure of when it's time to give birth. You shared to me a lot also na nakakatakot na because it's about that time to give birth, but also all these emotions of like, don't give birth yet, but also give birth na kasi ang hirap na, parang. And I know it's such a big thing. Does it help you become stronger overall as a person? Parang, nadaanan ko na nga yun.
Yeah, I really feel like if I can raise 3 boys
You haven't
plus
yet.
a husband,
Dalawa pa lang.
2 boys, even 1 child, you know, if I can birth someone, I can do anything. Like, di ba? That's how I feel. Like, you're not as fragile as you think, and it really helps. I mean, pregnancy and having kids it changes you. But I'm just so lucky, love, that you're by my side this whole time. Honestly, I don't think that I can do it if you weren't the way you were with me.
Thank you, love. Well, I try. Pero kung masabi ko naman talaga, like, I'm just, the best thing about a dad is, okay, where's the kid? I'll take care of the kid.
No, it's because you're so, I guess, mature or like mentally secure, or, you know, like, because I have all these hormones and I have all of these weird moods, and I tell you about it, like, why am I so anxious today? I feel like it's just the hormones. I'm trying not to think about it so I don't go down that spiral. And you just know exactly what to say, even though sometimes you don't know what to say, but you know what to do. You know what I mean? Parang, it's just because you're so grounded, that helps me. Like, mentally, like okay,
what do
this
I
is
say?
where we are. Like, for
what do I
example,
say?
I'll say, love, I want to retire. I'm so tired. Like, we're going to be a 1-income household. And this little is like, don't worry. I got you. I'm like, I'm not used to not. All these things are like, I don't know. You just, sometimes my mind wanders, right? When I have all these hormones, and I'm thinking about the kids, and I panic and everything. And then when I see you and you're just so calm and you're just like, no, this is what's happening. This is life. This is the reality. And I'm like, okay, he's chill. Okay. When he panics, I'll panic. When he's chill, I'm chill. So it helps me a lot. You just don't know, but it's just like a very solid rock. You know what I mean?
I think I know.
Like, you're my floater. That's what I feel like.
Maybe it can help so other people out. When you come to me with these things, what I usually just tell you, and I feel like you see this also, I don't think about it now, but now that you're mentioning it, parang, I just let you see the worst case scenario. Like, right away. Like, I let you see the worst case scenario. Like, and let you know that this is the worst that can happen, most likely. Even at the worst case scenario, we're still okay.
I feel like it's more than that. maybe because I'm so used to you already. I don't know. I feel like because you don't patuyang me. What's patuyang in English?
I don't feed your...
You don't feed
yeah.
my anxiety or my emotions.
But I don't, ano naman siguro, discredit it. Like,
You don't,
parang,
you know, it's just like a matter of fact. You know what I mean? Like if I say, oh my God, I'm so stressed out because the kids did this and then my stomach is painful and then this person quit and there's so many things happening. And then Slater's just like, you know, at the end of the day, we're so lucky because we're healthy. I'm like, he's right. That's right.
I just remind her to count her blessings.
Yeah, or like, I don't know. It's just the way you react that you don't allow that spiral to continue. And that helps a lot.
It's because also, ako din, when you feed me with that, like parang, nakaka-drain ng energy. So, I need to lift you up para ako din, hindi na ako madidrain. Like, sometimes nga si Kryz, nagtatanong, how was your day? I'll just say, it was a stressful day, but don't ask me about it because I don't want to relive it.
Yeah.
I feel like these things are kind of like muscles. That the more we complain about things in our lives, the more we highlight the things that went wrong, even if it's just, I'm just sharing lang naman eh. I feel like it's a muscle that you train.
Yeah.
And it's I know for a fact that it's a muscle that you train because when we were in acting workshops, you had to keep on thinking of sad things so that masanay ka na mababaw na yung iyak mo, yung luha mo mababaw. So you just find triggers. Okay, so when you watch a movie, you try to namnamin mo talaga.
Oh no.
And then you share your deepest, darkest, saddest moments all the time, and then you relive it in your mind as if it's tangible, as if like there was even an example na imagine if piniga mo yung limoncito sa bibig mo, 'di ba? Lalaway 'yun, 'di ba? Yung bibig mo. So masanay ka sa emotion na 'yun so that that's an emotional muscle that you can rely on. And from what I really learned from that is, so if I keep getting angry, yung thing kasi natin is ilabas mo yung galit mo para mawala. But I believe the complete opposite na yes, anger sometimes is required in certain situations, syempre, and we're all human, but kung palagi mong nilalabas yung galit mo, sobrang bilis niyang magamit. And we see that all the time. We have friends that come to us and all they do is just talk about these negative things, and we have people that are always angry with even small things, diba? And I feel like that is because of a habit or a muscle. So that's kind of like why I stop I try to stop your mental thread without like dismissing it. Like
I don't even think that you stop it. It's just that you have so much mental clarity that I admire because I understand that in your day, Slater's day is really hectic and busy. Like when he tells me about his problems, I get so stressed out that I don't even have to deal with it. So it's a lot, right? But then when I need him and when I talk to him about my problems, he's still there to provide me with that mental clarity, which I appreciate. But I understand where you're coming from because that's why also sometimes when you ask me like, oh, you're feeling anxious, why? And then I just say, don't ask me. Like I don't want to talk about it so it goes away. Like I don't wanna like analyze why I'm feeling this way. Let's just say it's hormones. I don't know if that's dangerous also. No, baka their therapist saying.
I try to process it. In my end, like parang if I'm feeling anxious, why am I feeling anxious? It's just, saan to nanggaling? Oh, it was just that small thing na sinabi ni pero parang nakalimutan ko nang nanggaling dun. So I get to like process it and get it out of my system. Oh, I'm worrying about something that I shouldn't be worried about. Or simply like when you approach me with something na may issue or like, okay, so what's the next step? How do you solve it? Sometimes it's so like boring and logical, but take a step back, look at what you have, look at what you're thankful for so that you don't think about, but when you're focused on the problem, nawawala kasi lahat ng mga solution. Your mind's like, focus on that one small thing. And sometimes, narrow down pa yung vision mo to, ito talaga yung problema, siya talaga. Instead of like, okay, what other angles can I play with if you're like looking at it from a longer time frame and a wider perspective. And in my mga meditation, I always do meditations na, especially these days, even more like the wider and the longer you think about the world, like yung time horizon, like instead of looking at it in a day's point of view or a week's point of view or even a year's point of view, mas less stressful siya is, would this matter 10 years from now? And would this matter in my lifetime? Would it matter even in generations from now? It probably won't. So parang...
You know that I think about that also, love. Like, for example, if I'm at home with the kids and very overwhelmed, like let's say everyone's having a tantrum, a bad day, and I have to fix everything.
Yes.
And then I lose my temper, and then I feel like a shitty parent because like I couldn't control myself. Then I just shift my mindset, like, oh, it's such an annoying day. That if I just look at the situation, like in 10 years, they're not even gonna talk to me anymore.
I think it's all the more annoying for you now. All these, like, life isn't perfect, so things happen. It's even more annoying for you now because you are tired. You're dealing with the
physically,
pregnancy.
I can't carry one person and put one person in the room. Like, I have to talk to them
So
out of this mess.
Parang kang in your daily life, gutom ka. So any little thing triggered ka.
Yeah.
Like,
Mom, get the water. I just said no. Then it's annoying sometimes, but then if I look at it like, oh, he's not gonna need me anymore when he's big. Okay, I'll get the water. Pagod pa rin ako, but at least I'm not angry about it. Yeah.
I think it's a good exercise to just having a different perspective in life gives you a level of parang mas nakakambyo mo yung mga bagay-bagay. I feel, and that's something I had to learn also. And sometimes parang nahihirapan pa rin ako, like parang I get caught up in the moment or the emotion, but as much as possible, ano lang talaga, to look at things from a different angle. Moving forward, love, meron kaming konting announcement when it comes to the podcast.
I'm pregnant. Just kidding. Every time we say we have an announcement, we're like, are you pregnant? Okay, so baby is coming very soon. And I think I need to reprioritize my life and take a little break from the podcast. Unfortunately, take a little break
Let's
from
call
the
it
podcast.
an end to the season.
An end to the season. While I try to navigate this life as a mom of 3, and Slater will try to navigate his life as a dad of 3 and take care of my hormones.
I mean, we'll definitely miss you guys. There are other ways you can like stay in touch.
Yeah, we're still gonna be on our socials.
Yes. Siguro, itong podcast lang talaga, I just want to say how thankful we are of everybody who's been supporting us. We were just talking about how long have we been doing the podcast, and it's been over 4 years. Over 4 years.
Yeah.
Oo. Wala pang Scotty.
No, Scotty was there already. We had just given birth to Scotty.
Yeah. So about 4 years.
Yeah,
About 4
'cause
years. Yeah.
I remember we had to do it when he was asleep. Remember?
Oh,
We
yeah,
always
yeah,
shoot
yeah,
it at
yeah,
night.
yeah.
So almost 4 years na.
Yes.
And I remember feeling so guilty, right? Because I was like, love, we gotta film a podcast. We missed last week's episode. And a lot of people actually messaged me yesterday, walang bago. I'm like, I'm so guilty. But Slater's like, you're pregnant with your 3rd child and you have 2 kids to take care of. It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, give yourself a break.
Yun. So parang nag-usap kami ni Slater na, maybe it is time to give ourselves a break.
Yeah.
Refocus lang. Spend more time with the kids.
So I hope you guys keep in touch, and we are going to miss you. Nakakasad din. Like parang si Kryz was like, we won't be using this equipment again for a long time. More microphones and everything.
We don't know, ha? Never say never.
Yeah, I mean, definitely there's going to be a break. And yun, we'll definitely miss you. No, I'm just thankful for all the Sky fam that has been supporting us throughout the years. And we'll see you very soon.